This podcast is produced by the production group Create at Morgan. All content is created, written, edited, and produced inside Studio CR2 at Lincoln High School, an alternative high school education campus in the Morgan County RE3 School District, based in Fort Morgan, Colorado, USA. Thank you for tuning in to our programs. From time to time, there are really cool activities or prompts or just a something from the classroom that has to be shared with the world. From our classrooms to you, welcome to an episode of Dispatches from the Classroom. As a part of my electives classes that I teach, one of them is, it's the last hour of the day, and I have creative writers, I have speech and debate kids, and I have podcast students. And so part of one of our assignments was to do an assignment where I've been giving them prompts every day for the last week or so. And those prompts are all around one question, but they're tailored specifically to the elective. So it's tailored specifically to podcast. Write a podcast script or a brief podcast script about this question or this thing. And so that's what I've been doing. And so today I was working with some kids and I was like, hey, would it help if I gave you like a model of what this might look like in podcast form? And so for my creative writers, they need to write a scene that lasts about 4 minutes. For my podcast team, they need to write a brief podcast for about 4 to 5 minutes. And for my speech and debate team, they needed to write a 4 to 5 minute speech. So I went ahead and wrote a speech using one of the prompts that I had on the list. And that prompt is, give your advice to middle school students. And so this is my advice to middle school students, or middle schoolers, by Aaron DeLay. Here we go. Let's be very honest today. Being a kid sucks. The world that is supposed to be small, concentrated, and limited to the world immediately around you, students, is magnified to an ungodly amount. Your world is supposed to be social, but it includes another thing that I've grown to hate for you: media. Social media makes the struggle of being a kid, a student, just that much harder. You have to deal with trying to present a certain image or a certain ideal in your postings. And if people get a wild hair, meaning they go low when they should go high, they'll snark about you, bully you, or tear you down through the very platform you're using, or they'll do it in the hallways, outside the school and beyond. You're constantly given the idea that you're ugly, so much so that you'll post a picture saying, looking awful but trying, or some such nonsense. The number of times you'll tear yourself down looking for a compliment from someone borders on obscene. I'm a potato, you say. You hunger for the likes, the comments, the praise, all in search of feeling better about your looks, yourself, and your place in this world. That sucks. Nobody should ever have to compare themselves to others on any kind of platform, electronic or not. I'm here to tell you something you need to hear, and you need to listen very close, and you need to close any other tab that you have open when I say the following words, because I want your undivided attention. If you listen to what I have to say, if you take it to heart and start living it, I promise you'll discover that you are the hottest thing since sliced bread. The first rule of middle school is, screw the haters. F them. Forget them. The haters, as Taylor Swift once said, are going to hate. Don't let them dictate your value. Don't let them tell you who you are. They are on the outside looking in and using a pretty cracked mirror to slur you and your identity. Don't engage them. Don't give them air. It's the principle with fire. Feed it oxygen and it explodes an entire city block of your heart, soul, and mind. Letting the haters breathe into your ears sends the smoldering embers of self-doubt into a firestorm. That fire burns through your metaphorical structure. Your self-respect, your self-esteem that you've spent countless hours and days building goes up in smoke as the fire gains ground on you. If someone is pouring fire into your ears, they are not worthy of your time. If they spend most of their time tearing you down and demolishing your identity, they don't truly care about, or they truly don't care about or for you. They just want to watch you burn. They're jokers, literally and metaphorically. Don't give them what they want. Find the people that are interested in building you up, the ones that support you no matter what. that want you to succeed in life, that want you to be awesome, and that want you to be happy, to experience joy, laughter, and hope. If someone is showing up to tell you how awesome you are and why, that's someone worth spending time with. If they want to help you, support you, encourage you, and they push you to work hard, dream big, and pursue greatness and great things, that's someone you want to hold on to. Someone who cares enough to call you out with love, support you in figuring out how to keep on improving your humanity. Someone who loves you, who you are, and where you've been and where you're going. That's the kind of people you want to ride or die with. Find those people. Seek them out. It might be a teacher or two. Those who believe in you and want to help you succeed, they're the ones you want in your life. Fire breathers and fire starters should be starved of oxygen. Fill your soul with cool water, strong will, and a strongly built sense of self. You are good enough. You are worthy, and you are love. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and you know where to find me if you need me. I love you, and I like you just the way you are. So that's that. And the goal is to have a 4 to 5 minute speech or story or thing. And then after, what'll happen is that as a group, as an electives class of creator writers, of podcasters, of speech and debaters, we'll actually hold a discussion where we talk about what we thought about each student's contribution. And we'll record a podcast, not for broadcast, of course, but just a podcast to show what it looks like when we have individual podcasts and individual kind of sharing. And then when the group comes back together to discuss, hey, here's some cool things I thought about what this person said. Here's some ways that might be improved, and kind of just have almost kind of a Socratic seminar / workshop that occurs within that session. So I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed writing this. I worked in middle school for 2 years as a 6th grade literacy teacher before I transitioned into my high school alternative education job here. And I do have some kind of an insight into kids and what they're going through. And I think a lot of times we forget that their world is small, and social media makes it big, and it shouldn't. We shouldn't let things like social media and those outside influences tell our kids how to live and how to grow up, because they're still kids, they're still students. A 6th grader is still a kid, it's still a child, and they shouldn't have to be growing up into an adult as fast as we seem to make them these days. But that's my opinion, that's my thoughts. That's by no way a definitive statement or judgment on anything. Hope you've enjoyed this brief, abbreviated episode of a Delayed Teacher podcast. Hopefully something here maybe struck you, maybe got you interested, and I will be back again with you sooner or later with more exciting teaching stuff to come here on this podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.